Good morning. This week I am here in Tallinn, Estonia, and I'm going to tour you guys Mama, Neil, Sam, and Bella.
Tallinn, the capital of Estonia, is a city that gracefully blends its medieval heritage with modernity. Located on the northern coast of the country, overlooking the Gulf of Finland, Tallinn has evolved from a strategic trading hub in the Middle Ages to a vibrant, forward-looking capital known for its rich history, innovative tech scene, and distinct cultural identity. Tallinn is a city of contrasts, where medieval walls encase a modern, dynamic urban environment. It is a place where history is not just preserved, but lived, and where innovation is not just encouraged, but celebrated. Whether exploring the winding streets of the old town, attending a cultural festival, or engaging with the local tech community, visitors to Tallinn are sure to be captivated by its rich heritage, vibrant culture, and forward-looking spirit. This unique blend makes Tallinn not just the capital of Estonia, but a significant cultural and economic player in Europe. The name Tallinn is believed to have derived from the Estonian words Tani linn, which translate to Danish town or Danish castle.
The city lies directly across the Gulf of Finland from Helsinki, the capital of Finland, which is about 80 kilometers to the north. This strategic location has historically made Tallinn a significant port and a gateway between Eastern and Western Europe. The city itself covers an area of about 159.2 square kilometers, making it relatively small in terms of land area compared to other European capitals. Tallinn is bordered to the north by the Gulf of Finland, to the west by the Harku and Tabasalu areas. Tallinn's topography is characterized by its relatively flat terrain, punctuated by a series of hills. Most notably Toompea Hill, which rises about 20 to 30 meters above the surrounding area. The rest of the city is primarily built on a coastal plain that gradually slopes down towards the Gulf of Finland. The plain is crisscrossed by a network of small rivers and streams, the most significant of which is the Pirita River. The river flows from the southeastern part of the city, through the Pirita district and empties into Tallinn Bay. The Pirita River Valley, with its lush greenery and gentle slopes, provides a natural contrast to the urban environment and serves as a popular recreational area for residents. The climate of Tallinn is classified as a humid continental climate, which means it experiences distinct seasons with cold winters and mild to warm summers. Tallinn's proximity to the Gulf of Finland has a moderating effect on its climate, particularly in the coastal areas, where temperatures tend to be milder than in the interior of Estonia. Winter in Tallinn typically lasts from December to March, with average temperatures ranging from -1 degree Celsius to -7 degrees Celsius. Snowfall is common, and the city's landscape is often covered in a blanket of snow during these months. The Gulf of Finland can freeze over during particularly cold winters, leading to the formation of ice roads that connect Tallinn to the nearby islands. Spring and autumn are transitional seasons, with variable weather and temperatures ranging from 5 degrees Celsius to 15 degrees Celsius. These seasons are characterized by rapidly changing conditions, with periods of rain, sunshine, and occasional frost. Spring, in particular, is a time of renewal, with the city's parks and green spaces coming to life with blooming flowers and budding trees. Summer in Tallinn is relatively short, lasting from June to August, but it can be quite pleasant with average temperatures ranging from 15 degrees Celsius to 22 degrees Celsius. During this time, the city experiences long daylight hours due to its northern latitude, with the phenomenon of white night occurring in June when the sun sets only briefly. Summer is the peak tourist season in Tallinn, with visitors flocking to the city to enjoy its outdoor attractions and festivals. Tallinn's natural environment is characterized by a mix of urban green spaces, forests, and coastal ecosystems. The city's parks and gardens, such as Kadriorg Park and the Tallinn Botanical Garden, are home to a wide variety of plant species, both native and exotic. These green spaces provide important habitats for wildlife, as well as recreational opportunities for residents and visitors. The forests around Tallinn are predominantly mixed forests, with common tree species including pine, spruce, birch, and oak. These forests are home to a diverse array of wildlife, including deer, foxes, hares, and various bird species. The proximity of these natural areas to the city center allows residents to enjoy nature without having to travel far. Tallinn's coastal areas and islands also support unique ecosystems. The shallow waters of Tallinn Bay and the surrounding Gulf of Finland are home to a variety of marine life, including fish, seals, and seabirds. The islands of Naissaar and Igna, in particular, are known for their rich bird life and are popular destinations for bird watching. The first mention of Tallinn, then known as Reval, appears in the writings of the Arab cartographer Muhammad al-Idrisi in 1154, but the area was inhabited long before that. Archaeological evidence suggests that the earliest settlements in Tallinn date back to around 3000 BCE. By the 10th century, the region was under the influence of various Scandinavian and Slavic powers, particularly the Danes, who played a pivotal role in Tallinn's early development. In 1219, the Danish king Valdemar II launched a crusade against the pagan Estonians, and after the decisive Battle of Lindesnes, the Danes established a fortress on Toompea Hill, a site that remains central to the city's identity. The construction of the fortress marked the beginning of Tallinn's evolution into a fortified medieval city. Under Danish rule, Tallinn received its first town charter in 1248, incorporating the town into the Hanseatic League, a powerful economic and defensive alliance of merchant guilds and market towns in northwestern and central Europe. The city's position within the Hanseatic League catalyzed its growth as a major trading port, connecting Europe with Russia and the Far East. Tallinn's membership in the Hanseatic League brought prosperity. During the 14th and 15th centuries, Tallinn became a melting pot of various cultures, including Germans, Swedes, Danes, and Finns, who all contributed to the city's cosmopolitan atmosphere. The wealth generated by trade led to an explosion in architectural development. Many of the buildings constructed during this period, such as the Gothic spires, merchant houses, and the Grand Town Hall, remain well preserved today, giving Tallinn one of the most complete medieval cityscapes in Europe. The city was divided into two distinct areas, the Upper Town, Toompea, and the Lower Town, Tallinn. Toompea was the seat of the ruling class, home to the nobility and the clergy, while the lower town was populated by merchants, artisans, and the emerging middle class. This division was symbolic of the wider social and political structures in medieval Europe, where power was often centralized in the hands of a few, while the majority lived in the lower parts of society, literally and figuratively. By the late 16th century, Tallinn's fortunes began to wane as the Hanseatic League declined. The city found itself caught in the crossfire of regional conflicts, including the Livonian War, 1558 to 1583, during which Tallinn was besieged multiple times. In 1561, Tallinn sought protection from the Swedish crown, effectively placing itself under Swedish rule. This period, known as the Swedish era, lasted until 1710 and brought relative stability and further urban development. The Swedes implemented significant administrative and educational reforms, including the establishment of the Gymnasium of Tallinn in 1631, which fostered learning and culture in the city. However, the Swedish era was also marked by conflicts, particularly with Russia. The Great Northern War, 1700 to 1721, between Sweden and a coalition led by Tsarist Russia ended in Tallinn's surrender to Russian forces in 1710, a transition formalized in the Treaty of Nystad in 1721. Under Russian rule, Tallinn, then known as Reval, became part of the Russian Empire. The city retained a degree of autonomy and continued to thrive as a trading port, although its political and economic influence was overshadowed by St. Petersburg, the new imperial capital. The 19th century saw industrialization take root in Tallinn, with factories, railways, and modern infrastructure slowly transforming the medieval city into a bustling industrial center. The early 20th century was a period of intense change and upheaval for Tallinn and Estonia as a whole. The Russian Revolution of 1917 created a power vacuum that allowed Estonia to declare independence in 1918, with Tallinn as its capital. However, this newfound freedom was short-lived, as the country soon became embroiled in the Estonian War of Independence, 1918 to 1920, against Soviet Russia and Baltic German forces. Victory in the War of Independence solidified Tallinn's status as the capital of the Republic of Estonia. The interwar period was marked by efforts to modernize the city and establish a national identity distinct from its past rulers. However, Tallinn's independence was again compromised during World War II. In 1940, the Soviet Union occupied Estonia, incorporating it into the USSR. A year later, Nazi Germany invaded, occupying Tallinn until 1944, when the Soviets regained control. The Soviet era brought significant changes to Tallinn. The city was heavily industrialized, with large Soviet-style apartment blocks and factories altering its skyline. The imposition of Soviet rule also meant a harsh suppression of Estonian culture, language, and national identity. Despite these challenges, Tallinn became a center of resistance, with a strong underground movement that kept the hope of independence alive. The collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991 marked the beginning of a new chapter for Tallinn. Estonia declared its independence once again, with Tallinn as its capital. The post-Soviet era saw Tallinn undergo rapid transformation. The city embraced its European heritage, joining the European Union and NATO in 2004. The Old Town, with its medieval architecture, was meticulously restored and in 1997 was designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site. In the 21st century, Tallinn has emerged as a vibrant and innovative city, known for its high-tech industries and digital governance. It is home to numerous startups and tech companies, earning it the nickname, the Silicon Valley of Europe. The city's combination of well-preserved medieval history and cutting-edge technology makes it a unique destination in Europe. Tallinn's history is a testament to its resilience and adaptability. from its origins as a medieval trading hub to its current status as a modern European capital. The city has weathered wars, occupations, and political changes. Today, Tallinn stands as a symbol of Estonia's journey from a contested territory to a proud and independent nation. Its cobblestone streets and modern skyscrapers tell the story of a city that has never lost its identity, even as it continues to evolve. The Old Town of Tallinn, Estonia, is a living museum that offers a unique window into medieval Europe. With its cobblestone streets, Gothic spires, and preserved architecture, it's a UNESCO World Heritage site and a must-visit for history enthusiasts and travelers seeking to experience a city where the past seamlessly blends with the present. The Old Town's rich history, well-preserved structures, and vibrant cultural life make it one of the most enchanting and significant medieval urban areas in Europe. One of the defining features of Tallinn's Old Town is its well-preserved medieval architecture. The Old Town of Tallinn is still partially surrounded by its original medieval city walls, which were among the strongest in Northern Europe. Originally stretching for 2.4 kilometers and adorned with 6 towers, about 1.9 kilometers and 20 towers of the walls remain today. These walls and towers, such as the Fat Margaret Cannon Tower and Keek in the Coke, provide a vivid reminder of the city's need for defense during its prosperous medieval period. Fat Margaret, a massive cannon tower, was constructed to defend the city's harbour. Today, it houses the Estonian Maritime Museum, which explores the history of seafaring in the region. Keek in the Coke, which means peek into the kitchen, in Low German, was so named because dock guards could supposedly see into the kitchens of nearby houses from its upper floors. This tower now serves as a museum, showcasing the history of Tallinn's fortifications. Beyond its architectural splendor, Tallinn's Old Town is a cultural hub that celebrates Estonia's rich heritage. The area is alive with events, markets, and festivals that draw both locals and tourists. One of the most significant cultural events in Tallinn is the Old Town Days, an annual festival held in late May or early June. This event transforms the streets of the Old Town into a lively medieval fair, complete with processions, concerts, theatre performances, and traditional crafts. It's a time when the history of Tallinn is celebrated with great enthusiasm, bringing the medieval spirit of the town to life. The Christmas market in Town Hall Square is another highlight of the cultural calendar. The market, with its festive decorations, traditional handicrafts, and seasonal food, is often considered one of the best in Europe. The towering Christmas tree in the square has been a tradition since 1441, making it one of the oldest continuously decorated Christmas trees in the world. While Tallinn's Old Town is a testament to the past, it is also a vibrant part of modern Tallinn. The area is filled with cafes, restaurants, galleries, and shops that cater to both tourists and locals. Despite the influx of modern amenities, the Old Town has retained its historical charm thanks to stringent preservation efforts. The preservation of Tallinn's Old Town has been a priority since the 1960s, during the Soviet era, when efforts were made to restore and protect its historical buildings. After Estonia regained its independence in 1991, these efforts intensified, leading to its designation as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1997. Today, the Old Town remains a living, breathing part of Tallinn, where history and modernity coexist harmoniously. The area is home to residents who live in the medieval buildings, businesses that operate within centuries-old structures, and visitors who come to experience the unique atmosphere of a place where time seems to stand still. Tallinn's Old Town is not just a collection of ancient buildings, it is a vibrant testament to the city's resilience, cultural richness, and historical significance. Walking through its streets, one can easily imagine the bustling medieval town that once thrived here, with merchants trading goods, guildsmen crafting their wares, and townspeople going about their daily lives. Today, the old town continues to captivate with its well-preserved architecture, cultural vibrancy, and the timeless beauty of a city that has been at the crossroads of history for centuries.
When